What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today, we're going to be doing a deep breakdown into the fusion calendar for the Greathoof Loriaca. And I must say that from first impressions, I've got a lot of concerns about this one. So let me just head out of this clan boss. Thank you very much. And you can see here that in game, if you head into the index, the Greathoof is now there. But it should be popping up with the portal with all of the tournaments and events that should be starting if the tournaments are live yet in around 20 minutes at the time of recording this video. But by the time it's released, it's probably there by now. But let's just put up the calendar itself and I'll express what's really going on here. So, okay. If I just move myself out of the way very briefly, you can see that the fragments as usual. We got 80 for the events and then we have got, as you see here, 80 for the events, and then we got the 35 for those as well, right? So that's going to be 115 in total, and then 35 from the top places of tournament leaderboards, in case you fall short, or if you do bonus points, you have an easier time with the fusion. But, big buts, there's one big takeaway from this, and if you see here, it's going to be with the Summon Rush events. So, Summon Rush 1, if we just put up the pen, we can draw a straight line today. So that's normal. We're anticipating a 10x event. We have got no news on the champions as of now, but I'll keep you notified of those. And there's going to be 20 fragments in there. Usually it's broken up into 5 and then 15 or 10 and 10. Really depends on how they're going to do it, right? But then when you have a look here, usually there'll be a champion chase where a 2x void should be, right? So here, it should be a 2x voids. Oh my god, my drawing's terrible. We're going to just do that. 2x void, okay? There's not any there. But what they've done instead is they have made 2 Summon Rush events, meaning that players are going to have to go for 2 10x events, both being Summon Rushes, and this can be a very big problem. Why is that going to be? Because there's only 115 fragments up for grabs, with 40 of them coming from Summon Rushes, meaning that in order to complete this fusion, you're going to have to be maxing up at least one of these tournaments or events, unless they break it down into 2 increments of 10 instead of 5 and 15, where you can max up one of the Summon Rushes, but then only do half of the second one, and then potentially players may still be able to get it done. But if it's going to be the way that I'm feeling it's going to go, but we're going to have to see that tomorrow on the Friday, it's probably going to be like the 5 and then the 15 and then the same for the other one. But usually players like to use their previous fusions that they've gathered from the fragments and they save them up, they use them on that weekend and get their points for the champion chase, right? And it's a routine that a bunch of players like to go through. But not being able to summon your shards on a 2x voids and getting those champion chase on such a sought after event, I'm just feeling, is this going to be the start of the Soulstone chase? And they've kind of left this open because they can't have back-to-back summon chases in a sense. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be doing that. But you guys let me know in the comments what you feel about this, because if this is going to be a Soulstone chase here, and then it's just going to be back-to-back summon rushes, meaning that you have to participate in 2 10x events instead of a 2x, and you can't use your fragments for quite an underwhelming fusion, let's be honest. I did do a showcase on it if you want to go and see a potential. I don't know, man. I feel like this is a Greathoof kick in the teeth to the players, honestly. I usually like to see the positive light in things. I just can't see where the positivity comes out of this particular fusion. I'm really struggling with what's going on here and why they've done it. But just in case anyone is still going to plan to go for the fusion regardless and you're going to go for top tournaments places, we do have the Dragon Tournament and Champion Training kicking off today, right? There's going to be no Dungeon Divers until the Saturday, as you see right here. So doing your Champion Training, you're basically going to be wasting resources and your Dragon unless you wait until the Saturday where you could double dip your points for the Dungeon Divers to get that done as efficiently as possible. But if you do just want to get these out of the way, the Ice Golem will be starting off here. And this is going to allow you to go for a few days, right? To finish off the Dungeon Divers if you want to pump all of your points into that one. And also the Summon Rush where you just summon your shards, get the points, and usually you need quite a lot of sacreds to max that up, which I'm concerned about with the 2 Summon Rushes. Our Classic Arena is very self-explanatory. You just go through, get your arena battles done, and boom, milestone reward should be finished. Artifact enhancement, you're going to need a bunch of silver. This is basically ranking up your artifacts to increments of 4, 12, 16, getting the points depending on rarities, and boom, you'll be able to finish that off. Granted, you've got the silver cost, and maybe selling some of the artifacts you don't need from the dungeon events might alleviate some of the stress that you might be having on your account. The champion training will basically be ranking up your champions, right? So if you've got like brews or anything like that, and just the campaign battles, you can rank them up to get that one done. And that's got a duration from the Tuesday up until the Saturday morning. So a pretty long one on the champion training. So I'd be expecting to see maybe a lot of points from that one. Finite unfortunately has no double dipping at all. As you see, it's kind of coming towards an end where you could potentially do some points just as it starts. But you have to be very wary, because if you miss out on that, you could potentially miss out on your finite fragments. So definitely not worth missing out on. And then Classic Arena, of course, as we mentioned before, doing the battles. And then the spiders also going to be coinciding with the dungeon divers too. So getting those points, getting as many points from both of them, you'll be good to go. Artifact enhancement free. Of course, we're going to be needing silver again. And if you're going to be doing the spiders, this is one of the best forms of getting your silver for your account by selling the accessories you do not need. And then that should be able to cover most of the costs of this one, granted that you've got the artifacts prepped. But yeah, I guess it's a pretty self-explanatory one this time. But let me know what you feel about this 2x voids being skipped. There is no champion chase, 2 summon rushes, and I'm not sure if it's a visual glitch or someone's just written this wrong and it's supposed to be formatted in a different way. But I can only go off what they've posted in their official announcement, and this is basically what it is, right? So yeah, I don't know, man. I was actually saying I might go for the fusion depending on how it is, but if it's going to be formatted like this, I think I'm going to give it a skip, because summon rushes are very hard unless you've got a bunch of sacreds and void shards, and I definitely have enough to do one of them, just not enough to do both of them. But there is like a long layoff between it of like 2 weeks, so depending how good a clan boss is to you, you might be able to afford it, I guess. But for Greathoof Loriaca, a kind of subpar champion in my opinion with some niche uses, I will probably call this one a skip for me, personally. Unfortunately. But yeah, guys, you guys let me know what you feel about this in the comments. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I will be keeping you in the loop for the 10x champions that should be dropping very soon. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in a video soon. Peace.